What's going on, everyone? AndCap24 here from playbook.gg, and today I want to talk about the crossing route. Okay, crossers are something that come in a lot of different angles. Some are a little bit deeper, some are a little bit shorter, and depending on what they are is how useful they are for you when it comes to putting them in a scheme. You know about the gun bunch one in West Coast. That's really tough because it's kind of got a lower angle to it, and it gets above the cloud flats, but really stays underneath the cover 3, cover 4 meta, where you basically are having an outside quarter. It still stays underneath it, right? So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about crossing routes and how we can make them a little bit more effective if you don't have one of those glitchy ones already in your playbook. Now, if this is the first time checking out our channel and you want to win more games playing Madden, hit that subscribe button below. Don't forget to also click that bell icon to make sure you never miss any of our videos. Alright guys, so this is going to be a universal tip, okay? And the reason why it's going to be is because I'm going to use the crossing route that is found in Hot Route Master or in your Slot Apprentice. So I'm just going to call 4 verticals. I'm going to call cover 2, okay? And I'm going to start off by showing you a test, okay? Now, all I'm going to do with the defense is I'm going to spy them off so there is no opportunity for them to basically get in the way of this crossing route and change the angle. Okay, so they're all spied off, and I'll take this vertical hook and I'll put him in a hard flat just to get him away. Okay, so you can see that the crossing route that I'm talking about is the one that I can go ahead and I put Brady on the buck so you can see it. But look at the route here by the Y. Okay, see how it starts? We're on the 50-yard line. And he is a slot receiver, and I want to make sure you see that he is off the line of scrimmage. He is going to have the ability to go across the field. Watch where he ends up, where we can throw it on the right sideline. Okay, so you look at the Y, nobody's touching him. He didn't lose his route. You can see that we're going to be able to throw this ball pretty much around the 15-yard line. Okay, it's a 35-yard route down the field. Okay, what is interesting about that route is that with the click on when it comes to playing a good player, whether you have, you're in unlimited, those reactions to those free safeties are going to be able to click and get on it for 35 yards down the field. Now, I'm going to show you a trick, and I'm going to do the same thing with the defense just so you can see this. Let's go ahead and just spy everybody off. Just bear with me here while I do the same thing here. And let's just make sure I get this guy on a hard flat. Okay, so everybody's spied off. Same exact experiment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Y, put him on a cross, and I'm going to do a motion trick. The motion trick is I'm going to motion him right. I'm going to motion him back. When I motion him back, what I want you to see is that I'm going to hike it basically before he gets to the left hash mark. Okay, so when I do this, what you're going to see is he's going to have a lower trajectory. He's going to come across the field, and you're going to be able to throw that ball about the 21, 22-yard line. You've cut down the yardage 7 yards, okay? And why is that important when it comes to crosses? It's because of where you want the player to basically get underneath coverage. So by doing that, you're going to see that we were able to get him. Obviously, the player on the right didn't get as much depth, but you can see that we have this easy throw over here. Instead of throwing it to the 15, we're throwing it to the 22. It's 7 yards difference, okay? Now, I want to go a lot further with this so you can understand this a little bit better, okay? All formations are created differently, okay? And I wanted to use this test because this formation is gun doubles offset weak, okay? The next one I'm going to show you is gun doubles offset. I'm going to use the 4 verticals play. And what you're going to see is that when I move this player over, see how the right receiver moves. So when I move him back to the left, what you're going to see here is that the B player is going to move to the inside. I cannot hike this right away with the B receiver moving. It's going to take me a few steps. So watch what happens here. See how the B is still moving. I'm trying to spam that hike button. I can't do it until I'm a little bit further. It's still going to help you with the angle, and you're still going to be able to throw this ball around the 19. So you were able to gain 4 less yards when it comes to where you're throwing it. So I want to make sure you understand when you do this, each formation is going to be different. I'm going to test it a little bit more for you, and I'm going to go to gun doubles Y off weak. I'll call 4 verticals. And what you're going to see here is that you're going to have the ability to change it because of the way that the tight end is. Now, I personally like this the best. See how the tight end is off of the line? Well, when you do this, you're going to see that the B does not move, right? Because he's on the line of scrimmage. You're going to see that the Y has to go behind the tight end, and he's going to start his route behind the line of scrimmage about a yard or two, which is going to lower his trajectory even more. So you see here, we go here, see how he's behind him? Now we're going to hike it where it was. See how he's lower? And now he's going to be able to kind of throw this ball even better for you at the 25. Same route, but depending on what we're doing with the formation, the player will cross at a lower, basically plane on the field. So just to recap, if we were just to leave the Y on its crossing route, okay, he's going to catch the ball at the 15, right? If we have a formation in which the B is moving when we move him, then what ends up happening is that we can't hike it right away as we pass the left tackle, and the route basically will go about to the 25-yard line, and then so you lose about, you get about 10 yards or whatever. So the best way to do this, and I'll go to the next one right here. So we've already tried gun doubles offset. We've got gun doubles. So what we need to do is the off weak one, right? So this one again, what you're going to see is that the tight end is off the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be the best possible route. I actually didn't do the crosser the first time, so I'll do the crosser the second time, right? So this is going to be something that obviously we're going against cover 2. This isn't going to be something that I want to make sure I show it to you here against cover 3, but you're going to see how low this trajectory is, and it's going to really help you. I caught that ball at the 26-yard line. So it's really about knowing your formation, how to utilize this for the best way possible. All these are going to beat cover 2, right? I know that. And the thing is that what we do here, if we're going against a cover 3, that's really going to change, can the player come back and make a play? So I'm going to go ahead here and do my favorite one, which is going to be anything with the tight end being a little bit more offset, basically off the line of scrimmage. So we'll do doubles Y off, right? And this time, it doesn't matter where the running back is, but you're going to see here when we do this, you're going to be able to beat cover 3. I'm going to do it without pressing, and then I'll do it with pressing, right? So I move this guy over. Now we're going to move this here, and we're going to hike it right when he comes over here. You're going to see that the guy's going to get underneath the coverage a lot easier, and it's going to make it for a headache. Now, how do we use this in a game plan, right? Well, I love deep in routes by the left player. I love the post that you can get when you have, basically some certain plays that you can do. So what you're trying to do is you're basically trying to get the user to have to commit to one play or the other. So it's just something that I wanted to make sure I talked to you about crossers and then how you can do it in a route. Dagger is a really good play, and I'll show you basically what I mean here by replicating dagger. But let's go ahead and do this one more time where we're going to do 4 verticals, and I'm going to go cover 3. I'm going to press this time, right? And this way you can kind of see it. The dagger concept that you see a lot in trips Y flex is where you put the outside player in an in route, and then you basically will put him on, smart route, right? Usually it's a little bit deeper if you actually have the route there. So if you do something like this, where you're using the crosser, you're using, something to the point where the crosser has to manually be defended because it gets behind cover 2, it gets underneath cover 3 and cover 4. What you're going to end up doing is having that deep in. Very similar to what the play in West Coast where Skimbo runs a lot, where there's a corner route and a deep in. He's basically banking on the user has to pick one of them. This is a very similar concept. Catch this here, hike this ball. You're going to see that the X brings down coverage. You're going to see that we're going to be able to throw this ball to this player, and he's going to get underneath the cover 3 press. That is very important. It gets underneath cover 4 press. So I wanted to teach you a little bit about crossers, how you can utilize them to get a shorter cross to be able to get in that tender spot, and also what route combinations you want to put on the field to maximize this. This is more concept-based than it is an actual play. If I want to show you an actual play, I'll look in here and see if we got something that's got a little bit of a deep cross in it. Okay, so gun wing slot offset, all right? We'll use the mesh spot play. Right, and what we're going to do here is kind of show you a little bit more what I'm talking about, right? So you got a deep in, now you got a crosser, and we'll go ahead and do something to where we'll do something like this, okay? And it'll look like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to motion this guy over, And then I'm going to motion him back. And what you're going to see is that he is going to put a lot of demand on the user to cover that player. And if they do that, what you'll see is that you're going to have the opportunity to now hit the Y or the X, right? Something that you can plan for yourself to really be annoying, to really set your offense from a base play. And then once you get people to have to adjust to that, that's when you mix in other plays. You start making them say, okay, now that you're showing me what they're going to try to do to stop this, it's going to open up everything else. So I just want to show you a little bit about crossers, how to utilize them better, and how to use them in a concept-based type of play to kind of start your offense with. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you check out these videos below for the most helpful Madden tips. If you're looking to learn from the best players in the world, head over to www.playbook.gg for the most detailed game plans in Madden.